Welcome back to Restore Thrive. We are talking about movement archetypes. These are the basic start and finish positions that every athlete should be able to get into. Today we're going to talk about our second upper body movement archetype. It's what we call the hang position. Now the hang is important because we see a lot of people hanging out with their arms rotated in, their shoulders forward, and they operate out at this position when they're pressing, when they're blocking, when they're trying to pull something back towards them. And what that does is creates a lot of torque and stress across the front of the shoulder that can lead to a lot of shoulder and rotator cuff issues. So the basic test for the hang position is simple. What we want to do is start with your elbows pulled up to just below shoulder height. Your hands are going to be pointed forward, your forearms are going to be pointed forward, and all we want to see here is that you can rotate your arms down so that your forearms are even with your sides without your shoulders starting to round forward and your shoulder blades come forward. So if you have a second here, pause the video, take a look at your hang position. Again, arms should be even with your sides when you rotate down. You shouldn't be rounding forward through your head, neck, or upper back. If you've done that test and you found that you're a little bit limited or you can't get your arm quite all the way down there, we want to give you a couple simple mobilizations to try to see if you can improve that hang shape and improve that shoulder rotation. So the first one we're going to do here, we're going to use a jump stretch band attached to a pole. You can attach this to a squat rack or inside a door frame, but what we want to do when we mobilize a position that's stiff is take you to that point of restriction. So you can see I'm putting this band around my elbow, and what I'm going to do from here is take my hand and put it behind my back. We call this the banded bully, and as you see me get in this position, you'll understand why we call it the banded bully. So I'm going to rotate away from the band, push my shoulder forward, push my elbow forward a little bit, hold that position for about 5 seconds, and then let it relax back. Let the band pull my elbow back. I'll see if I can pull my hand up my back a little bit farther and just turn away from where the band's stretching me. I'll hold that for about 10 seconds, and then I'll push my elbow forward into the band again, contracting again, hold for 5 seconds, and then exhale and relax. Let that band pull you back. Try to get that hand up a little bit farther. Turn away from the band with your upper body, with your head. Breathe as you hold that position. We'll do that for 1 to 2 minutes. Usually a good 3 or 4 rounds of that is a good way to start to improve that shoulder position as it relates to that hang shape. Now the other 2 things we want to show you is something you can do with a simple lacrosse ball, and we want to clean up or clear up any sort of stiffness you may have in your lower rib cage. So when we rotate down into this position, this hang shape, if we're stiff in our lower ribs, it makes it hard for our shoulder blade to get in the right position, to get out of the way so that our arm can come down. So what I'm going to do is aim to put this ball right beneath my shoulder blade, right off the middle of my back on the floor, so I can get a little pressure in here. And again, I'm going to bias this position by putting my hand behind my back in that hang or rotated in position. And then I'm going to use my upper body or lower body to start to add some weight. So you can see I'm dropping my legs over towards that right side where I've got the ball. And I'm just going to come on and off of that. As I feel a little bit of pressure here, I should be able to take a full breath in and out, and then come off of it. So I'll roll back and forth, and I can kind of imagine a little semicircle below my shoulder blade, and I can reposition myself, getting that ball out a little bit and doing the same thing, dropping my knees side to side or coming in a little bit, and again dropping my knees side to side. Again, we want to spend about a good 2 minutes there. Another good way to think about this is if you're starting to notice some change for the better, you want to keep working at it until you notice that it's not changing anymore. The last piece here, and this is a good practice for you to use after practice, after a game, is just to open up your shoulders again by getting into what we call our bridge hang position. So what we're gonna do here, start with our elbows and arms by our side, get our feet underneath us, bridge our hips up, and then slide our hands underneath our back, and then bring our hips back down. Now, if you're tight in your shoulders, a lot of times what you'll see when you get in this bridge hang position is that your shoulders start to come off the floor, away from the floor, or if you keep your shoulders down, you get into this kind of banana rib cage position where your ribs start to pop up. So our rib cage should be down, shoulders should be back, and we should be able to just breathe in this position without much effort for 2 minutes. So this is our bridge hang position. So these are our ideas around how to improve that hang position if you feel like you're stiff, or if you notice doing that test that you don't have that full range of motion. If you have more questions about how to improve your shoulder mobility or improve this hang shape, you can find us at restorethrive.com.